Hello everyone. Today we are going to see Wireshark software, which is also called as a packet analyzer. Now, what it does, this Wireshark, it analyzes the packet. Okay. Now, what is mean by packet? A packet is a unit of data which is transmitted over a network between the, we can say, source and the destination, right? Which is a small with some number of the bytes which will be transmitted between the source machine and the destination machine. So the Wireshark analyzes the packets. That means the header contains what is the size or what is the header length, then at what time this packet has been reached to the destination, at what time a particular packet has been transmitted from your machine, what is the port address, what is the source ID and the destination ID, the protocol which has been used in this packet, that everything will be analyzed by using the Wireshark software. So, who use this for what purposes? That we will see now first of all. Then we will start it with the practical. Now, as I said, there's a network packet analyzer. The network administrator use it to troubleshoot your network problems. Sometimes it happens we are connected to the internet, we have checked the connectivity, but still we are not able to find out why our one of the site is not reachable. Okay, why we are not able to connect with the internet. It happens sometimes. So the network administrators use troubleshoot the network issues, that whether I am able to reach to the particular site, whether the site is working or not. Okay, like that. So network security engineers use it to examine the security problems. That means sometimes it happens we don't want to accept any particular data from any one of the specific machine. Okay, so we can just restrict them, like a proxy server, like a proxy settings, we can restrict them, right? But somehow they manages any particular malicious user can manages to attempt our system, attempt to communicate with the system. So that we can find out by using by filtering out the packets by the specific port number or by using the specific IP addresses. Okay, then the quality analysis engineers use it to verify the network applications. So different usages are there, and developers use it to debug protocol implementations. Also, people use it to learn network protocol internals, right? So in education purpose, like we are doing today, is basically used to learn a protocol internals. Okay, the details of the header, details of the packet which are being transmitted through the systems, that can be analyzed. So this is why it is widely used, or we can say why it is very famous, because this is a open source software. Also, this is the free software. So how to install this? By using, simply you can just visit www.wireshark.org. In the download section you can find out the different, we can say different options are available according to the operating systems which we are using, which you are using. You can simply download a 64-bit, 32-bit, or if you are another sources or another OS is using, then you can just go with this particular or specific Wireshark software. And what you have to just is download the Wireshark. Then after downloading, select the window installer according to your system configuration, either 32-bit or the 64-bit. Save the program and close the browser. Fine. Now open the software and follow the install instruction by accepting the license. Now in my system I have already installed this Wireshark, so you just have to do it like other software installation does. Save it, and then simply just run, accept the licenses, and then Wireshark is ready to use. Okay, now after this, in the search also you can simply write the Wireshark, it will open the window for the Wireshark. Yes, here it is. This is a Wireshark homepage. right? So this is Wireshark software window. You can see here, and all the processes on the network are carried within this screen only. Whatever the things which we have to do, it is available in this one screen only, right? So the options given in the list, these are the some. This is the list of some interfaces, right? This option given on the list are the interfaces list options. The number of interfaces options will be present. Selection of any option will determine all the traffic. Okay. For example, I have connected through the Wi-Fi. If you can observe the thing that the packet has been packets has been captured behind, and the graph you can see here, right? The traffic you can observe here. So simply if I want to check out, I want to analyze the packets through this Wi-Fi connection, then simply you have to double click on that. You just have to select the interface. Fine. See, these are the all packets which are incoming to my system or outgoing to my system from my system. Okay. I will explain these sections one by one. Simply remember, this is the screen of Wireshark, and this running screen is what? The packets which are being captured. Fine. Then this last section, if you can observe this one, the about this arrow, if you can observe the cursor, you can observe the packet contained written in hexadecimal or the ASCII in the ASCII format, and the information about the packet contained are the packet detail, we can say the details of the packet header. Any particular one of the packet, if you will select, the details regarding that packet will be displayed into the second last section. Fine. Now it will continue listening to all the data packets, and you will get much data. If you want to see a particular data, then you can just click on the red button. If you can observe this, here it is written stop capturing packet. Then it will stop capturing packet, right? The screen has been stopped. The traffic will be stationary, and you can note the parameters like time, source, destination, protocol, length, and the information, right? To view in depth detail, you can click on that particular address. See, you can just click on the particular address. A lot of the information will be displayed below that. See, if I have selected this one, any one of this, right, then you can see the details regarding this packet in this below section, and each every detail will give you some more details. There is a metadata, right? Now this is what uh, simply what we can say, there are total 5 sections available. Okay, the interface or the screen of this Wireshark is divided into the 5 parts. The first part contains this menu bar and the options displayed below is okay. Now this part is at the top of this window. File and the capture menus options here. File and the capture, these are the options which are commonly used in the Wireshark. The capture menu allows you to capture, or we can say to allow the start the capturing process, and the file menu is used to open the save and open up the save file, or to save current file, to save this current data into the file, right? Once you will save, you can reopen it at another time also, by 1 day, by 2 day, by after 3 days, you can open up that particular file, and then you just can analyze your traffic later on also, right? Now the second part is the packet listing window. This is the packet listing window. It determines the packet flow or the captured packets in the traffic. It includes the packet number, then packet time, particular, then we can say the destination, source, destination, protocol, length, and the information. Okay, we can sort the packet list by clicking on the column name, right? We just have to we just have to select any one of this column, then it will sort accordingly, right? Now next comes the packet header detail window. If any one of the packet will be selected, that the details about that packet will be displayed. It contains the detailed information about the components of the packet. The packet protocol info can also be expanded or minimized according to information required, right? As I explained here, it can be expanded, it can be minimized. Fine. Then now this is the second last, we can say, section, the bottom window, which is called as the packet content window, which displays the content in the ASCII and the hexadecimal format. But remember this thing, most uh, this will be in the encoded form ASCII value, but which is in encryption form, right? And the last but the not least is this filter part. If you can observe a space over here, here it is written apply a filter, right? The filter field, which is at the top of this display. The captured packets on the screen can be filtered based on any component according to your requirement. For example, suppose I want to just filter out the TCP protocol used packets, then I will just write the TCP. If you will enter, then the packets which are using the TCP protocols will be displayed on the screen, right? So this is the very useful and the very user friendly, we can say, option is available here. If you will write the any filter content or the command in the wrong way, then it will just the background will come upon with the red color, and if you write it in the correct way, then it will be in a green color. So it is very easy to understand whether you are writing the correct one or not. Fine. Now, uh, for example, if we will observe, just a minute, then if suppose I have started back, when I want to restart the capturing window, capturing the packets, it will ask you whether the previous recorded packets, do you want to save this, or without saving you want to continue. For now I'm doing continue without saving. Now I will just remove this filter. This is very important part, that you should close the window, you should close the clear the filter, okay? Then it will capture all the current packets. Now if you will observe the view menu here, from here number of different options are available. For example, here is the time display format. Now currently it is showing your packet time is with the format of date and time of the day. You can change it with any like seconds since before beginning of the capture, right? Now you can observe the time slot, time column. It has been changed, right? Now I want to keep it as it is, date and time of the day. Then it will be coming up with the date and the time, right? So there are number of options are there in view option, on the menu bar. You can also change the view of the interface. You can change the number of things in the view menu. You can also enable or disable any option according to your requirement, okay? So after this, you can observe that the packet in this Wireshark are highlighted with the blue, black, and green color, right? So these colors also helps users to identify the type of the traffic. It is also called as a packet colorization. Okay, the kinds of the coloring rules in this Wireshark are temporary rules and permanent rules. You can apply the permanent colorization rule also, and you can keep it as for temporary purpose also. Okay, the temporary rules are three until, uh, we can say, they can be used until the program is active mode or until we quit the program. Fine, that is called as a temporary rule. The permanent curl rule are available until the Wireshark is in it use, or the next time you run the Wireshark, right? Then after this, suppose you want to verify what this color means, what this sky blue color means, what this pink color means, right? You just have to go to, just a minute, here in the view option, you can check the coloring rules. Okay, the number of colors are available, and with that what is the meaning of that color is also given. Suppose if it is a sky blue color, then that means it is the UDP protocol packet. Okay. Then if it is TCP, this color will be applicable. Now, if any one of the packet is displayed with the black color, then we can say that there is something error. There error has been occurred in that particular packet, so it is a bad TCP packet, right? Like that. Now, if you don't want to apply this color coding, then simply you just have to colorize packet list. See, you just have to colorize, select the colorize packet list, then it will just clear out that filter, clear out that option. Okay. Now, if you want to apply again, simply select the option. Fine. Now, after this, now suppose I will just stop this recording, capturing the packet, and what I want to do, for example, if I will select this IP address 192.168.1.15, and I want to check all the packets which has been sent as a source through this IP address. Okay, I want all the source addresses, or we can say all the packets which are sent from this particular IP address 192.168.1.15. Now, how to filter out that? IP.ADDR double equals to sign, for equals to, we have to write double equal to sign. Okay, and you just have to write down the IP address 192.116.1.15. Right, it turns to the green, that means the command is correct. Enter. See, if you can observe, whatever the packets are there with the source ID 192.168.115 will be displayed out here, right? Now, one more thing, that if I want to check whether as a destination, with the destination of 192.168.1.15, any packet is there or not, then enter. Yes, as a destination 192.168.1.15, these number of packets are available here, and I have returned this filter. Now, suppose if you don't want to specify as a destination or as a source, you just have to write ip.addr. That means as a source, as a destination, if this particular IP address is available, then all the packets will be listed out. Clear? Now, also, suppose, let me just clear out this filter. Fine. Now, what I have to do, suppose I want to select this one, I want to select this particular packet, and I have to choose all the packets which belongs to this particular address only. Then you have to right click, you have to select apply as filter and the selected packet. See, as a destination, the same destination IP address is available, and all the packets which are belonging to this particular IP address as a destination will come upon screen. Fine. Now, after this, suppose um, okay, suppose I have selected this particular packet, and below this screen, or we can say below this section, there is one section where details regarding to this particular protocol will come upon on the screen. See, now this belongs to your frame, that means your data link layer details, right? Now, what is the interface ID, then how many bytes are there, the time at which it has been arrived or sent, right? Number of things are available in this. Now, if you will go to the, like, IP, that means network layer, to the network layer, it will show you the protocol which is used by this protocol. A particular packet is IPv4 with the source address this and with the destination address this, right? And what is the length header, the header length that will be displayed here. Fine. Like, number of different options are available from the header packet. If you are aware about the header packet of which comes with the IPv4 or IPv6, any particular protocol which has been used into that packet, it contains some different sections, some different fields. Okay, so accordingly the details are displayed onto this. Right now, here TLS, that is transport layer security. right? Now this is the application data protocol, HTTP over TLS. This protocol has been used by this particular packet. Now this data belongs to the TCP transport layer. If you remember, the transport layer, which is above the network layer, which deals with the delivery of the packet host to host, process to process, sorry. Now process to process means if you want to identify your process uniquely, then you have to use the port number. Now transport layer deals with the port number. Right now in this section you can see the port ID, the destination port ID. Right, why we use the port identification? Because in one system it may possible that more number of processes are being run. So to which particular process we have to transmit this particular packet, that can be analyzed by using this port number. Now here is a source port, destination port, and then the segment length is there, sequence number of this particular packet is there. Right, so all the basic details will be available in this option. Right, now suppose what I will do now, I will just I will just start capturing. Okay, I have stopped for now, and what I will do, I'm just opening the CMD command prompt. Okay, now what I will do, I will just ping to, I will just ping to suppose 8 dot 8 dot. Okay, enter. What ping does? Ping is nothing but packet internet grapher, right? What it does, you just check out whether I can reach to this particular IP address or not. You can write URL also here. Okay, your any address you can write here. Now there are 4 packets which are sent and the 4 packets which have been received. Right. So I want to check whether this has been captured into this or not. Now I will start again because this is not available in this. I have stopped capturing the data. So if I will, I feel if I will IP dot ADDR equals to 8.8.8.8, enter. You can see there is no any packet available with this particular IP address. Now what I will do, I will just start capturing again. See, because that those packets have been transmitted and received. They are not transmitting or receiving for now while we are capturing, right? So now what I have to do, I will just ping one more time to that particular IP address. Just a minute. Okay, ping. See in the background, if you can observe, can you see that with this IP address now new packets has been captured. So this is what, as a source, this is my system's IP address 192.168.1.15, and the destination was this. The first packet was sent, then the reply came from that particular IP address. Then again the second packet was sent, the reply came. The third packet same, the reply came. So 4 packets has been sent and the 4 reply was received. See, echo ping request, right? So here if you can observe, sent packet 4, received packet 4, right? So while you are working on that, you are, if you are working on your machine, if you are connected into the LAN, if you are sharing the internet, if you are sharing a particular network, and you are a network administrator or you want to keep a watch on your network, then you can just apply a Wireshark on your network, and you can observe, you can analyze the packets which are outgoing, the packets which are incoming. For example, if you are in a cyber cafe, for example, if you are running your if you are working on cyber cafe, and number of peoples are working there, right? 10 to 12 suppose systems are connected there in a same network. So if you are sitting on one PC, you can analyze the packets which are incoming and outgoing to the entire to that particular network, right? So other peoples which are working on the machine by using the same network, you can also analyze their packets, okay, what they are actually looking for. You can keep a watch, you can keep an eye on that, whether they are, if you are a network administrator, you can keep a watch on your network like this. Hmm? Then after this, there is one more port. Okay, first of all, I will just restart this. I will just clear out this filter, and then I will apply the filter, right? For this port filter, suppose from here, I will just check it out the port number for this particular packet. From where I can find out the port number? From the transport layer details. So here, IP, this is 8801. Okay, 8801. Now I will select this port number. That was UDP, right? So UDP dot port double equals to 8808. Enter. Right, there is no any packet from this particular IP address, port number. So I'll just check it out for one more time. This RC port is 137. Or if we'll go to the TCP packet, SRC port is 443. So TCP dot port double equals to 443. Enter. So these are the all packets which are with the port number 443, which are for the port number 443, right? So this is one of the filter which you can apply. So by using the port number, by using the actual name, by using, or we can say, the IP address as a source IP address, as a destination IP address, you can just apply the filter. Now suppose if I will write the HTTP, I just want to know the HTTP packets which are available there or not. See, yes, the protocol with the HTTP, the packets are present. Okay, so this belongs to the site which I have opened for the Wireshark. Okay, now let us say I will open up the google.com. And if I will observe, see, the number of packets which have been captured will increase. Can you see this? The protocol which has been accessed here is OCSP. Yeah. Now if I will open up the Gmail, then again the number of packets being captured will increase here. See, I have opened up the Moodle. Can you see this? More number of packets has been captured. Now these are for the Moodles. Now if you will go to any one of the packet which has been captured, and you can see the details below. In this HTTP protocol, if you will click here, it will give you on this by the packet belongs to which particular URL. See, you can here see moodle.apic.org. And I was running that particular site on which browser that is also displayed here. User agent is Mozilla with the version number and everything, right? And the OS which I am using, that is also I can observe, right? This is the image. It will actually, this is the main image which comes with the site. It belongs to this. Okay. Now, suppose, okay, let me just clear out this. Now, there is one more filter related to the username and the password sniffing, which is called as username and the password sniffing. Suppose now you just saw I have opened up the Gmail, right? So what we have to do, I have opened up the Gmail, I have logged in, and I will write here the filter frame contains gmail.com, right? Wait a minute, stop. Now suppose here I have written some ID and password and I will do next, right? Now we'll go back to the capturing Wireshark packets. Yeah, I have to do that one more time. I missed capturing that packet. That time it was, the filter was cleared. This is just a last filter that I'm going to show. Just a minute. Okay, now it is in the running state. I'll just see, frame contains gmail.com, because while I was accessing that Gmail, while I'm logging into that, it captures some packets, right? And with this filter frame contains gmail.com, these number of packets has been captured by the Wireshark. Now if any one of the packet, if I will observe, then you can see the details regarding that packets here. Okay, so this is what all about the, we can say, Wireshark, by using which we can analyze our packet. We can check out the time at which time this packet was arrived. See, basically in larger network where security is much required, because a lot of, we can say, personal things are there also in major companies also, security related, one team is there who only keep watching their network. So whether any malicious activity is being run or not, some ports have been already disabled, restricted, okay. So whether by any chance by using that port, any messages are coming or not, so that can be analyzed by using the Wireshark. So it is very easy to access, and lot of options are there. We have seen only the introductory part of this Wireshark according to the requirement of at, we can say, in computer networking. The practical which belongs to our syllabus contains the introductory part which we have seen. Okay, you just try to install it, download and install, and then try to apply some filters, apply some protocols, and just to look into that packet, look into the details of that. You can observe the HTTP packet. From that you can observe from where, or we can say from which browser I have run that packet, like that. Okay, and simply as I have shown you, the, we can say, ping command I have run, and then I have checked whether it is replicated in here or not, that you can observe. So I hope this Wireshark packet analyzer is clear to you. Thank you.